Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly shop steward today, because today we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding I've Scrapped the Nearest book, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the remastered version that we are currently playing. And we are using that to play in our custom Coalpunk setting of Spires of Paridar, a setting of industrial progress, class disparity, and occult conspiracy. Although, as you'll see from the image on the screen right now, we do find ourselves in a bit of a strange horizon presently, and we're still coming to terms with where our heroes actually are. But let me introduce you to the stars of our Spires of Paridar campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up is Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Golag, son of Doc. He is a orc witch detective.
Very nice. Dag nabbit, I thought I muted myself. Next up is James.
Hi, I'm James. I'm playing Sally Dumais as our petty monk detective.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is Darren.
Hello there, I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, who is a created flesh warp inventor, and I think he's just finished creating Igor Mark 8.
Very nice. So you can give Igor their hit points back again. So guys, this is Chapter 6 of Survive the Veiled Sun. What do you guys recall from... We did a lot of kind of setting discussion last time. What do you guys recall from last time? Let me move you over to our...
Yeah. We didn't cover much ground physically last time, but we did a lot of theories and discussing with our new friend Zaboob.
Yeah.
Talking about the Sages of Sorrow and the orc that obviously transported us here, and what we're going to do going forward, and what Golag's going to be able to, or what his sort of options are, or so there's a lot of back and forward discussions. As always, Basil had all sorts of theories and coming up with different theories and what we should do.
What do you think the important takeaways from what you guys concluded or you suspected that Sally needs to know?
I mean, we talked about the similarities with the Spires. Obviously, the ones in our Paridar look very similar, but they're made out of different material. These ones are all these obsidian black, or everything we believe is obsidian black. We haven't actually seen them yet in this land, but there's similarities between the two lands there. We were trying to work out whether we could use those roses to travel back, or if we need to find a different source, i.e. we might have to use the white roses to get back to Paridar and the black roses to get here. Or, so that's not 100% clear yet. Whether we need to try and find allies and deal with the situation here, or if we just looking to escape and get back to Paridar. Yeah, there was a lot of discussions, and I'm not sure we come up with a 100% clear path other than get to the surface and at least try and work out how to get home, and then decide whether that is our first option, or whether we do need to try and find Golag's mum or other allies, or whether we need to try and defeat this what's he called? This, it's not the Sun Destroyer, is it? What is he?
Sunslayer.
Sunslayer, yeah. Yeah, whether we need to actually deal with the threat of him, because if we don't, it might come to Paridar, you know, whether we want it to or not.
There was also a survey of sort of the different worlds you become aware of over the course of the campaign, too. You discussed that Mr. Harker was from a place called Coalpunk. You also discussed that Sally's from a different place. You now know that this place is a different place.
And they were talking about connecting up to Sally's world as well in the future, potentially.
Yeah.
Or suggested it anyway. So we're unsure how many worlds that this place is already connected to. You know, there's signs of Basil's sort of race or people. So maybe they've come from another world, or were they already here? So I think Adam had a theory that, you know, this might be a collection of sort of jump gates almost, that they travel to all these various places, and that's how the different races and different people have come here and then set up their home here, or been enslaved here, or whatever different situations.
Golag, anything you recall? You said it's consequential for Sally?
I think that about covers it. I mean, just also the sensitivity of Golag's controversial orcishness, and specifically his markings, but both. I guess not both, because there's plenty of orcs around.
Yeah. I
mean, you know, obviously our new friend
Zaboob.
Yeah, Zaboob, he's an orc, obviously. So if I didn't have the markings, I don't think it would come to much, except for the fact that I can't really, you know, I have a strange story of being from another land, but that's not really a big deal. It's really the markings that are the issue, and that we've determined that I would try to ameliorate that as much as possible by having the shadow be shadowing me rather than being a tattoo would perhaps help, you know, would not necessarily be a panacea, but would help. So that, you know, some more talk of that. I think that went on. I think that's been a couple of sessions we've discussed that, but that was and how much, because we're going to Zaboob's village, town, and how much to tell. I mean, Zaboob's open about that, you know, I should keep it to myself for the most part, most of it. And that he would handle the intros otherwise. So a little more of that, you know, I think we had a little refresher of that. So, and that we lean on the fact that we were taken here involuntarily. We're from a different land and we were kidnapped. That's really what we're leaning on there. That's our crux as a group, if we're asked.
It's not our fault, Gov.
Yeah, well, look at us. I mean, we're trying to get home, you know.
Anything else that is consequential from last time?
Don't think so.
So we're picking up with you spent an extra day in the dark places, or the deep places, to allow Dr. Sprung to finish fabricating a new version of Igor. Anything else you guys wish to do? Oh, there was discussion of the nature of Golag's patron, the visions he's been having, and how how that relates to the king and Golag's mother, the Witch Queen.
Yeah, how for our number one theory was that what's the artist's name, woman that had the
Miss King?
Yeah, Vesta King. That our number one theory is it was my mother trying to contact me, and that is, you know, almost to the point of kind of assuming that was the case. I think, you know, that kind of had to be the case, and now that's called into question somewhat, because it could be the creature It could be, you know, what we're thinking of as everyone's patron, or at least everyone, you know, my patron, my mom's patron, my uncle's patron, etc. And we're thinking it's the creature in the painting and in my dream that was coming down from the sky, sort of a monster, huge deity, almost scope-wise creature coming down, and that's who is probably trying to contact me, is now probably the number one slot. I mean, it still could be mom. You know, we got a lot of questions, but I mean, it probably, and the fact that like Vesta King, the message was that I wasn't ready for that message. It was kind of a cold message, and was it possible it was from mom? Sure, because I don't even know her, you know. So who knows what mom's like, right? But now it seems more fitting for this kind of deity creature in the sky. It's a good fit for that. So that's our current. We talked about that. It's probably our number one theory now.
So the Grudge Butcher is who you're thinking of, but there was some discussion of what reason that the Sunslayer may have for trying to seek out the Grudge Butcher. Was that what you were thinking, Adam?
Yeah. You know, we just had a lot of, you know, we have so many, you know, a lot of theories and a lot of questions. So we kind of brought that up again and, you know, put it on the table and beat it around and reordered some things where I think we've prioritized that over mom as far as some of the source of these things. And
one of the things we talked about last time was the reason that what's his name? Durgosh. The reason Durgosh went to, here we go.
The Sages of Sorrow, wasn't it? So
because he had the 7 undead, same as the 7 Sages of Sorrow. Because, Sally, you may not remember, but the Witch Queen, would you guys care to tell us where Golag's mother is currently hiding? The Canker Marsh is the name of it, but what is the...
Underwater. It's in the So maybe the Durgosh's interest is in a weapon against Mother who he can't reach because of her environment location. I think is what we discussed, and maybe using Sally Dumer's or her people's specialty to along with something along and connected with the Grudge Butcher. Some combination thereof to attack Mother for a final, or to bring it to the Sunslayer to get back in his good graces. I think so there's some of that too.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really know why. We don't know why he's not in the good graces, right? Nothing came up about that.
I think you were the one the theory was that you guys shared last time was that you were all brought here as a way of getting in the good graces because he did not get the Grudge Butcher.
And he did not get the Grudge, so he'd be in the doghouse because of not getting the Grudge Butcher.
That was a theory you guys were discussing last week, that if he fucked up his job to try and get the Grudge Butcher, a consolation prize is your nephew who you didn't know about and a couple of other people who happen to have either knowledge of where the Grudge Butcher comes from or knowledge about Paridar technology.
A prince nephew.
Yeah. I don't know what the demi version of Sunslayer is. Son attempted murderer, maybe. So that was one of the things that you had to likewise put together. There was also some discussion of, it was not asked whether there were spires in Coalpunk. But everyone's memory has been playing differently here. You are away from Paridar, which has a unique impact on that. And Sally, if you overhear people talking about there are black spires here, there are the white spires in Paridar, you have a recollection of the deep spires of your home.
Oh.
An oily, blackish green. You cannot remember at this point more than seeing them in the abyssal depths. You know that there are spires in your homeland. now that you are away from the impact of Paridar.
Ooh.
Would you share that with everyone, or is that something that you would keep to yourself, having made that memory inch back?
To myself, I'd be doubting myself on the whole thing.
You would or would not?
Would be.
Would be keeping
I'd
it
be
to yourself.
wondering if I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, and that's because you have like, it's not like a visual thing, but it's like sometimes it's a memory can trigger that you completely forgotten about, and that's a clear recollection in your mind. And seeing it from what you assume would be your comfortable native habitat, the utter black depths of the ocean. So, anything else we discussed last time? I think that covers it.
Yeah, I think with similar to what Sally's recovering information, I think I was checking with Basil and Golag if they'd started to unclear any of their sort of past memories. Maybe now we're in this place, maybe if Golag remembers anything as we sort of, well, especially when we reach the surface, maybe.
Yeah.
Stuff might come back. So, yeah, just to be mindful to, just tell us if anything does come back to memories of the past that might be useful for us to get home. Or
something that might occur to you as a physician as well is that you've witnessed yourself Golag become insensate, apparently because of his abilities. Once while standing, and when he was viewing in the Vesta King's gallery, which didn't result in any kind of coma and did not persist. But then after coming here, he had that brief period of coma. Yeah,
because I have been paying a bit more attention to him than normal because of that sort of episode, or whatever we want to call it, when we came here. But that when he was in the gallery, he lost his tattoos and his shadow sort of split from him. But that didn't happen this time, did it?
Did not.
No, so that was slightly different once again. But yeah, he's definitely keeping a bit more of a sort of closer eye on how he looks and things, and whether he looks like any sort of illness or uncomfort, anything like that.
One other thing I think came up last session, Sally, and forgive me if I'm repeating something from 2 sessions ago, but it appears that there is a similar plant to the white blossoms of Paridar here as well.
Oh, and what color would that be?
Black.
There you go.
Even in the Hellforge Desert, it apparently blooms on some of the cacti and other very tough vegetation that manages to grow here. It doesn't seem to be as prevalent, but everywhere you go, in some call it the Orklands, an older name that Zabub has given you is Arthum. Throughout Arthum, you will find this everywhere. Sally, any questions about what you've learned?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Then, guys, anything else you wish to deal with or prepare for before departing? You have your construct prepared again?
Yeah, good to have Igor back. Igor?
I think we're ready to meet his tribe. See how that goes.
Then, we will not need to do a journey for this last bit because Zabu will be leading you along. But he prepares the contraption that... was it a better trap that you built, or was it a way of transporting? I think it was a trap, wasn't it?
I think it was a bit of both. Yeah, I improved the trap. I also looked at how to make it easier for him to transport everything back.
Yeah.
So how big a change, I'm not sure, but he seemed to be quite pleased with it. So
Very much so, yeah. So it is kind of, it's more like a device that you can kind of change from, a wheeled thing to a sled to whatever, depending on the needs of the area you're traveling. But he seems to have a clear path in mind that he will be traveling. It's probably going to be 2 days to get to the surface. So if there is anything else you wish to do before you leave, it will be a challenging journey, although you're getting closer to the surface, so it won't be quite as dangerous. Again, what he discussed is if you let him approach the reeve of the Black Tower, a fellow named Urzul. You let him speak to Urzul, then he can prep him for meeting folks who are as unusual as particularly Sally and Dr. Ursprung are to the eyes of the locals. You look like, to what Zaboob will expect, is that people will think you are either a very tiny Jotun or a malformed orc, in all likelihood. And Sally,
A babe.
perhaps a what is it called? Not Adamaru. I forgot it on my list here. May be viewed as an Adamaru, or perhaps someone blessed by one of the primal forces. There are folks here who are mechanically, you would think of them as like the equivalents of Ganassi or the plane touched. So it'd be folks with fire, air, earth, water elements to them. If you choose to say that you're just from somewhere far, there are folk who are unique here as well. And thanks to the biomancy, cross-fertilization is pretty much a thing across any species, with the exception of like the Surki. The bug folk don't have a lot of luck procreating with mammals, for instance. But then, unless there's anything else, you guys are setting out. Then, let's go to... Ooh, let's go to the Dark Deep.
I'll make sure Igor does a lot of the heavy lifting for Zaboob as well, so he's a bit freer and a bit easier to travel.
Sure. The he's grateful for that, but like you're gonna find that the transportation, the sled skiff thing that he's using, it actually seems to accommodate precisely all the grubs and whatnot that he has harvested from down here. So he appreciates it, but he says just, there are some narrow crawls. Just be careful with, you put such effort into getting him functioning again. It would be a shame to see him malfunction yet again. Did you say he's number 8 of? Yeah. Is that indicative of how many times he has?
Yes, that's how many times I've rebuilt him. Yeah.
Are you going for a new design for number 9, or are you going to stick with this one?
Well, this has already been upgraded 2 versions ago. No, it's acid actually, but similar.
If it ain't broke, it's been broken 7 times, mate.
Broke is such a strong word.
Yeah, damaged.
An opportunity to reinvent is maybe a generous way of describing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you guys set out. The two, I think there are, while you guys have done, or Basil has done an admirable job of navigating through such incredibly alien, in the sense of foreign to you, environs, right? Like navigating around in these places, the sounds, the smells, the shifts in temperature that you find going from one cavern to another, they're not things that any of you are used to. And while Basil has done a pretty good job of getting you around in the hands of someone who is native to these lands, you're finding like, oh shit, there's little things that you would pick up of like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should really do that next time we're down here. Oh, I don't know why we were doing that. That didn't, yeah, I see why that's a problem now. I don't know what those are, but you would inevitably, the same way that the first time you go hiking or something like that, you're like, oh, when you do it with someone who knows what they're doing, like I should probably not wear jeans during this trip. So the 2 days it's 2 more days of dark until you reach what is an entrance, he says, that is close. This is a staging ground for where he's going to ask you to stay for a day just while he goes, probably 2 days, because 1 day to get there, 1 day to get back. And let me show you where he's bringing you. Now, these ruins are not dissimilar to what you found underground. At least the parts that had been spackled over. You may remember the temple that you guys found initially had that, the bones of the structure seemed to be Minotaur. And there were hard stone that were things that were chipped out of the stone friezes and, reliefs that depicted Minotaur doing a bunch of things. And then over that, a softer stone or spackle or, plaster or something, not plaster, but like mortar was put over that depicted orcs. And then that also was abandoned and seemingly something else took over there. These seem like better maintained versions of the orcish ones. The bones, again, are Minotaur. There's a much more prevalent look of orcish design in here. And Goldag, seeing some of these, it harkens a bit to the room that you were in your vision before, in the ziggurat, before you alighted to the top of that, and then in your dream invoked that shadowy ritual. So you're beginning to feel like this almost feels familiar. Zaboob will leave you with some supplies. He says you're free. This is a less hazardous region. There are less dangerous things here. But I would use the supplies that I've left with you rather than seek out your own. If you do not know what water source you're drinking from, they can be hazardous or have an unintended effect. Biomancers, the Black Tower, know how best to make use of those for their art, but untreated and unmaintained, it can have a unexpected effect on the system. Then I will leave you to rest. You can take in, if you wish, some of the surface. I will be back in 2 days. And he gestures at the sled and looks at you, Dr. Ursprung. Once again, thank you. This is remarkable work.
You're more than welcome for the help you've given us.
We'll see how much help I can do if I can convince Urzul. So, I will leave you, and I'll return. Or I will send word if I am unable to return. Goodbye, my new friends. We'll see you soon.
Good travels.
Bye.
And to you. I mean, he just did what, when you tell a pizza driver, enjoy your meal.
You too.
What am I doing? Yeah. So, 2 days you have. If you wish to sneak a peek at him when he is leaving, this would be what you would see outside. So, what are you three going to do with your 2 days to kill?
I will share that these markings in here are they are familiar to me. They hearken to the dream that I had, that land, that civilization, that those buildings, those runes. This is the closest I've seen to them here.
And is it a language, or does it mean something, these markings, or?
Can I tell? Does any meaning come to me with that
what
realization?
These are... Yeah, actually, you can. Why don't you give us a... first, everyone gets a hero point as well. Why don't you give us a society check there, Golak? You're going to get some information, obviously, but let's just give you more. You guys are level 8, is that right?
We're
8,
9.
9. Who the hell let that happen? Jeez.
Yeah, it's out of control.
26 is your average, just to gauge.
Yeah, I'll roll it again.
Okay.
Oh, nope.
Roll 20, add it again.
Yeah.
All right. So what you are able to tell is there appears to be references to some name that you're not familiar with. And there appears to be some other languages. Basil's not here, but I think Basil speaks Jotun, if I recall.
I speak Jotun as well.
Okay, so yeah, you would see then, like, there are messages in a number of different languages in here. There's Orcish on some of these stelae. There's Jotun. There is what the languages would be spoken here. The language of the Isaki, the Skitterfolk. I think, does Basil speak Draconic? I think he does, right?
I've got Draconic as well.
You got Draconic as well. Jesus Christ. Dr. Earthsprung's a polymath here. My goodness. So engineer, linguist, physician.
There's a lot of heads going on inside.
Yeah, you're truly a player character.
Okay, your pay's not going up, Doctor. Let's just calm down. Let's calm down.
Submitting invoices for each of his disciplines.
He's the face of the party. Ugly face, but face.
Respectful.
A memorable face.
Yes.
So what you would pick up is a Draconic, Jotun things. All of them are referencing, this is sort of like it seems as if it's like a way station or like a welcome set up by some long lost empire as a way of like greeting or notifying people that you're transitioning into someone's territory. If you look around here, it's rubble now, but it looks as if there were buildings and stuff that were built up here. And the reason it's rubble is because it isn't built with the permanence that some of the other things are here. But that's also kind of the nature of caravansaries too, right? Like you expand and contract them, you change them to meet the needs of whatever the circumstances are. So this appears to be like quite literally a way station for folks transitioning from somewhere else to down below.
It's a bit like the front door almost, I guess. They're sort of welcoming them in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's in several languages, so that, seemingly whatever you speak here, you would come across this thing. You would not be mistaken as to where you would be finding yourself. So maybe this is a border as well. One thing you would think of Golag is that this is the kind of thing you would set up at a border when you're going into territory, as opposed to something you'd set up once you're within the domain.
Mm-hmm.
And is it warnings? Is there like warnings that you're entering dangerous terrain and places, or is it not really like that, or wasn't like that? Should I say?
No, like it doesn't speak to the dangers of a down below. This is the kind of like, you've not seen it in Paridar, but if you read about, you know, foreign civilizations or foreign rulers, this is the kind of thing that a potentate or an emperor or something would do to make sure everyone knows whose territory they're entering, in part as a warning, in part as a show of force. You don't put up these kinds of permanent structures, you know, if you don't have the resources and the temporal power in order to enforce these things, you know. You insert your Ozymandias joke here, I guess, but like this is it's not per se a threat, it's not per se a warning, but like what way would you talk about this other than if someone immediately stops you and tells you whose domain you're moving into, you know, that in and of itself is an implied threat, right?
Yeah.
What else do you guys do?
Do you think we dare have a little scout about outside, or do we want to stay inside?
Yeah, it's
Just
not
out of curiosity to have a look.
it's not crazy. I guess I'll start trying to get the hang of or just becoming accustomed to having my shadow in my shadow. And I'll start working on that. So I'll do that at this point.
Yeah. You know, the light coming in the entrance to the cave there would give you lots of opportunity to sort of practice the proper falling of the shadow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure. So
I'll give Go-Leg feedback on that, obviously.
Yep.
helpful feedback or amusing yourself
No,
feedback?
I mean, just, you know, it's hard to sort of tell if you're walking along, how's my shadow looking if you keep looking around. And, so.
Sure.
Yep.
Terrible. Awful.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible.
Seriously. Come on, people. We're not focused here.
Yeah, okay, cool. No, I like that. And Sally, what are you thinking of doing?
I'll have a good drench of water and then get ready to head out.
Okay. So, what do you guys? You'll have seemingly one day of time to sort of explore. What are you thinking of doing? Are you gonna like head farther out into? How far out? I guess is what I'm asking. Do you want to go?
I guess, can we see anything from the doorway? Anything immediate? As in, you know, signs of any sort of civilization, or is it purely just rock formations and desert that sort of
It
spans?
seems that you're in some kind of like rocky foothills or mountains, perhaps. Probably foothills, just from the size of these things. But it seems like, as far as you can see, like your line of sight is obstructed by the foothills. You must be in some, you know, canyon complex, perhaps, or some, you know, sprawling bit of foothills. If you got to the top of one, perhaps it might give you a better vantage.
Is there any obvious like foot traffic or paths that are well trodden, or
The wind and the sand that hits the surface of this, it means that it would be. Which of you is trained in survival again? Is it just Golag?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm trained.
I thought for a while there we were constantly surprised that Goldie got training in that. But I think that's something that was like part of one of his background things from well before.
Yeah, I'm an orc. Goodness sake.
Yeah, and so Golag, like, if Dr. Ursprung happens to ask about tracks, you know, Golag says, like, no, you watch the permanent. You know, you use that to navigate. You don't follow along a path or anything like that. You would know to where to look for. So if you happen to know the formations in here, then that would be one way. But there's a lot of sand, and there is this odd pull to the light outside as well. It has a diffuse quality to it, as if this was on a like overcast day where it's sort of hazy in the light, almost gloomy, but there's no clouds. Like, there's nothing obscuring the sun. It's like as if the sun itself is veiled, but it does not impact the heat because it is fucking scorching outside. Like those of you, Sally, for one, like with your tendency to dehydrate, that would be very uncomfortable to start with. But Golag and Dr. Ursprung, in your suits and whatnot, you are sweltering very quickly once you step outside. Like this would, it would be uncomfortable for you to travel in what you're wearing right now, at least at this time of day.
I'm noticing, I think we've already covered it, but I'll just throw that into that feat as we look at like, glyphs and signs and for the future, whatever, going forward.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Why don't you give us an occultism? I don't know why I said it that way. Occultism check, please.
Yeah.
Occultism. English is hard.
Sounds better that way. Oh, there we go.
Holy shit, nat 20, baby. So here's something interesting. Is within the context of this, there are references in Orcish and like little glyphs that are kind of around. And what it gives thanks to in kind of these, or at least it venerates these things. It venerates Faith's Flame Keeper. It venerates the Spinner of Threads. It venerates the Wilding Steward. And it venerates the Starless Shadow. And they're set up kind of like 4 things. I'll put in chat. Anna's reminding me, put it in chat, dummy. Okay.
Kind of god-like veneration?
They don't reference them as gods.
Yeah.
It references the way they're placed. It's sort of like, it's not in veneration. It's almost like claiming favor from these, from Faith's Flamekeeper, Spinner of Threads, Starless Shadow, and the Wilding Steward.
Okay. I'll share that.
Okay.
The other thing while we was outside that springs to Adam's mind is he looks up. You mentioned there's no clouds. Can he see any signs of like this civilization that were in the sky that they talked of?
Not from here, no.
No, nothing in the distance or anything.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I know what he'll be looking for in future, though. Oh, Sally and Golag, you should Golag should have 1 hero point. You should have 1 more hero point, Sally.
Oh, okay. So,
then, where would you guys? What would you like to do with your travel outside? You want to save that for tomorrow? You want to do that today?
sounds like, looks like, feels like going at night would be better.
Hmm.
You all have dark vision.
Mm.
Do we? All three of us have dark vision?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Dr. Urstrong got a new set of eyes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe that is the case.
I think. Go on. Sorry.
Pleasant and less noticeable.
Yeah, it's just the temperature will hopefully be a lot more suitable as well. I think with a bit of time that we got during the day, I think Adam might try and construct some sort of makeshift umbrella or something for Sally, because he thinks we're probably going to have to walk during the day when Zaboob returns. So he's going to like use his coat or his jacket or whatever and try and make something that's going to give some shade or something to assist.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice.
Well,
Great. You get a parasol. Sure.
Pretty hot out here.
Yeah. So that's what you'll be doing your first day. Golag is practicing with his shadow. Sally, what would you like to do, if anything?
So is there any water roundabout within the cave?
There actually is. There is a well. Looks like in the ruins of one of the caravansary, there is a well, and it still has water in it.
Did we get warned? Is that part of what he warned us about, Zaboob?
He did warn about consuming the water. He didn't say anything about splashing it on yourself.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's reasonable that Sally might have asked if that was a concern.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he's not sure. We don't... before drinking the water, we treat our water always. But for washing, for cleaning, we do not. So, Dr. Urstrong, you can give us a medicine check if you like.
Yeah, I'll give it a bit of a look over if I can.
So, if you happen to ask about it, what Zaboob will tell you is that in the Unshadowed Age, when these lands were before the Hellforge Desert, these lands had vast archives and communities of learned biomancers. And whatever fate befell them at the end of the Unshadowed Age, it has left a lasting mark on here. And those creatures, if you consume the water, it transforms some of your organs. And the hunters that are part of the community, the folk of the Black Tower, they hunt these animals specifically for that, because you can use those glands, process them, and then that allows you to work biomancy. Because they're so polluted with this substance, it allows you to work biomancy very easily, to incorporate like the gills that he showed you. Uncontrolled, it can have unexpected results. Those can sometimes be beneficial. They can sometimes be slightly deleterious. They can also transform you into something horrific. And it's difficult to know what dosage might do that, because it's difficult to know what each water source has been contaminated by, and that seems to vary as well. The biomancers don't know why that's the case, but much of the wildlife you will find here, especially in the surface near the reach or the regions of the folk of the Black Tower, it's wise to moderate your intake of that substance. So, as far as whether it'll affect you, splashing on yourself, the folk of the Black Tower use untreated water for washing and such, so as well as for washing, like for other things, cleaning dirt off of the vegetables and fruits that they consume as part of their meals. But imbibing it, you probably want to be cautious.
You
So
going to
Sal-
investigate the well, Sally?
Not now.
Yeah.
If you do need the extras, he could leave you basically like it's like alchemical tablets that they would use. It's what they use to purify it. He can leave you a couple. He's leaving his hunting expedition early on account of your folks, so he's got more stock left over. He can reacquire more. Knowing that you need to rehydrate, he can leave you a sufficient supply for 2 days worth of water.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So then, yeah, otherwise, the water is incredibly clear. It is very refreshing, and it is quite cold. So probably all things that Sally is happy with. When evening comes, what do you guys want to do?
We'll head back out, maybe?
Yeah, we'll have a look around at least the sort of local.
See if we can find movement, if there's anyone out there, a little peek, and see if there's see about markings that we can see.
How long do you think you would comfortably stroll at night before you would turn back, in the event that you didn't find anything? 2 hours, half hour? I imagine there'd be a concern about getting yourself lost if these are
I was
all...
going to say, yeah, how easy is it going to be to find our way back, especially with the sands moving and the wind covering our...
Well, I have great news on that count. You're going to have your top man on that task. Because figuring out whether you get lost in strange terrain will be a survival check, which Golag would be making.
Oh, well. We can do what we want then, if Golag's in charge of that.
I wouldn't say survival's my best. I'm trained, but it's not overwhelming.
Well, should we maybe give it an hour? An hour of sort of travel?
Yeah, probably at most,
Yeah.
I would say.
Good.
Even.
An hour in this terrain would probably put you about 4 kilometers. So that would be a little more than 2 miles, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, if we find something before that, then obviously, but I think we shouldn't go beyond that, is my recommendation. Right. And can we use, is there a moon at night? Can we use...
There are 2 moons at night.
Can we use that to help aid our sort of direction somewhat?
Man, I have a cantrip for this, but I didn't prepare it. Next time, tomorrow I will be...
What cantrip are you thinking of?
I'll put it in the, for like 24, knowing which direction if you can think of something your last 24 hours, seems pretty on the mark for.
You know which direction is north, and you can choose the location you were in, and learn what direction it lies. So that's cool,
right? I mean, that's a solid. Doesn't get used very often, so it's kind of a fresh. But I'll prepare it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Do you wish to wait till tomorrow then to go, or do you want to?
Yeah, we could take a little spin and just not get too crazy with it. I won't take any chances. If I ever think since I'm chief navigator, if I ever think, okay, we need to stop here because this is seeming
I think
similar.
Like one of the things you would find, I imagine, is it is for those of you who have, especially your most formative memories being Paridar or some of the countryside around it, it is pretty impressive how quickly the terrain here swallows any kind of familiar markings. You walk away from where the entrance to this place was, and it is indistinguishable. Once you get to a certain angle and you walk a quarter of a kilometer away, you would not recognize it as the entrance.
Well, I'll share that and we'll cut it we'll be. There's no point, especially if I have something magical that'll help us tomorrow. Perhaps I will.
Yeah, and I think like what you would be able to do is because like I said, like you would know like, okay, I need to pick a geographic point. I'll pick a point of geography I can see, and you'll walk your distance you can until you're almost at the distance, and then walk back and walk off in another direction. And what you find is it is much of all of this for as far as you can walk. So your visibility. Oh, guys, we get to make a weather roll because you're on the surface.
Whoa!
Holy smokes!
We did this for you, Kevin. We went out.
My goodness, love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna do. I am gonna. Let's see here. Oh yes. What book do I have that has random weather for a desert environment? I wonder. I don't know. I don't remember if this actually has weather rules in it, but we're going to take a look. Okay. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. I say I'm justifying a purchase, but I justified this purchase a while ago. Hey. Yes, there's no weather in this one, but I'm fairly certain the next thing I'm going to justify. That was the box, not me. In the event that Mike picked that up. Hey. I'm checking on him. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's in here. If not, I gotta grab a different book. And
No, we could just go. It's mundane weather.
oh, now where would be the fun in being a desert setting and just be glad I'm not messaging Dave to roll for weather. Because that is just without fail catastrophic. Okay. It's not in there. Okay. Yeah. Again, that was the box, not me. We get this. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I should have thought of this beforehand, but I just thought now that shit, we should have got so many source books about. Oh, here we go. This is getting into the good stuff, guys. Here you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Supernatural haze threats, guys. My goodness, it's just getting better and better. All right. So the thing you find in the evening as well is that it is frigid, frigid cold. Where it was scorching hot during the day, it is cold. If you've actually ruined your jacket, you're not going to take any penalties necessarily from it, but it is it's very uncomfortable for you to be without your jacket this evening. All right, here we go. Here we go. Fucking nice one. Who wishes to be the Dave of this campaign? Taking the blame / credit for weather rolls.
Management will step in.
Alrighty, Sean, would you give us a percentile roll, please?
Take that.
Okay. And hold on, let's see here. Okay. It is very cold and very still this evening. There are signs where dunes have accumulated, and think, Golag, there are one or two occasions where you think you hear ignore me. Yeah, it is almost eerie compared to how much the wind was blowing a little earlier and the dust was picked up and kind of have a haze to it. The clarity of tonight and the clarity of the moonlight in particular really lends this entire place an eerie solemnity or placidity, where it's almost comfortable. You can hear the sound of the sort of like odd sound that footsteps on soft sand create. And as long as the weather remained the same, like Dr. Ursprung, you're thinking of that Zaboob left here and walked across the sand, but within a half hour, his marks were gone. But like they would be very easy and very apparent to follow as long as the wind didn't pick up. You don't find any sign of any other civilization, any effort at constructing anything, no markings. You imagine that if you just wandered off, it would be, for one, difficult to tell a difference in any direction, and it would be difficult to know. You're only maybe 15 minutes away from where you were housed, but you would almost think that you would need to either know or be very lucky or be extraordinarily observant to even know where to get in to that entrance. Those obelisks or stelae, they welcome people to that kingdom, but once you step outside, there's nothing else on the face of this surface that would tell you that it's there. Dr. Ursprung, you can give us a crafting check, actually.
Okay.
If anyone has any lore geography or geology, you're welcome to do that too. I'm saying that because I know Sean's character in Warhammer Fantasy has a lore geology that never gets played. What you can tell, Dr. Ursprung, is there's actually someone has damaged the outside of this entrance like centuries ago. There's been damage done here beyond just the erosion of the natural formation. So whatever entrance in there may have been on the outside, someone has seemingly intentionally destroyed it.
And I'd think to hide it in some way.
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah. You can imagine that, yeah, like there probably was something. If you're having a like, welcome, you're entering my kingdom, motherfucker, you would want something similar to welcome them. A face, a statue, something like that, but nothing. So that's what you find. you maybe spend an hour or so wandering in. There's 3 different sort of directions you could go here, but there's no difference. There's no difference in any of the.
I have orc lore. I'll throw that out there.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So that's as far as you can tell. I mean, what you would know just at a baseline is that just from the, that from your dream, you were. Oh, there's where your athletics and survival come from. Interesting.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
Okay. What you would know is just from when you were in your vision in that ziggurat, that was all orcish markings. The orcs were all the folks who were in charge there. You've now seen 2 different locations that seem to have been claimed by the orcs as the most recent, or at least in this case, the most recent sort of owners. While the subsurface one was seemingly lost to the Circe, likewise, it was claimed by the orcs after it was either abandoned or by the Minotaurs, or the Minotaur were conquered by the orcs. What you would know from your orc lore, just rarely in the limited history that you're aware of, rarely is there a peaceful transition between different species. So, anything else you guys are looking for or wish to keep an eye out for here?
I mean, it sounds like they wouldn't last long, but tracks, if we do happen to find tracks or a well, more permanence, or markings like we, of any kind, none of that stuff. Yep.
It's all natural landscape.
Any kind of cave, if we come across anything like that.
Not that you can see, and in the limited distance you've gone, no.
Is it all flat? Is it flattish?
The surface, the ground of the canyon, yeah, apart from the rocks jutting through where the sand has been exposed. But you can see places where, like, the sand has accumulated, so there's probably some things that are concealed, and there's other places where it looks like it's been hollowed out by the wind.
And are there, like as we see in the picture on the screen, are there any really high rock outcroppings?
You could try and climb to the top of them if that's what you're asking. Yeah,
it's not crazy. I'm actually pretty good since my membership at Paridar Orc and Gym.
The Yoka, right? Not Christian, I guess. The young orcs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've ever since I tore my trousers at one time. I'm pretty good at. I made sure that my climbing is reasonable.
Sure.
So I think I might give it a shot. I'd tell the others, and I say, hey, I'm going to go for a higher view and see what I can see. Oh, for that matter, I actually can. I don't know if it's worth this exactly, but I do have prepared a fly spell, so I can fly.
Nice.
There's that too, but I think climbing is I don't think I've used this a single time that I've had that feat now. I've literally had that feat about right after I tore my trousers. That was literally years ago now in real time. Yeah. And I don't think I've used it once. So I kind of almost want
to. When you successful. Oh, awesome. Okay, so go ahead and give us a.
Pretty sweet.
Athletics check, please.
All right. Let's see.
There's lots of handholds here, so this is going to be relatively easy to. And there's definitely not like, whatever the Arthumian equivalent of Black Widow spiders in any of the holes in there. Don't worry about it.
I feel like I need to re-roll that. Can I tell how easy this is, or can I tell?
That's easy enough. Yeah. This is not going to be particularly challenging. So what Sally and Dr. Earthsprung may be surprised by just how nimble and quickly Goleg's able to clamber up that wall. Turns like that.
At some point I look down at him. I'm like, if anyone wants to join me, a little cocky, a little bit.
Yeah. You're able to scramble to the top.
Yeah.
And with your survival, you should be able to see almost 5 kilometers as long as the view is unobstructed. It is nothing but endless canyons as far as you can see.
Interesting. Let's see if there's anything I want to do up here. I don't think so. Not of a magical nature. I think we're okay here. Yep, there's nothing. How high roughly would you say this is, Kevin? Just ballpark?
Gosh. I don't know.
100 feet? 200
70?
feet?
Yeah, 70 to 100, depending on the place.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not even 100. I'm just trying to judge here. Like, if you figure those, like some of the larger stones here are like a little taller than you. You figure that's about 8 feet. So 7 becomes 8. It's only, what is that, 27.5? So that's 27 is 3.5 times 7-ish. So that would be about 30. So it's actually only about like 40 feet, maybe 35 to 40 feet tall. I don't know if that math checks out if you really look at it closely, but good enough for today. So it's really it's not as high. Like, it's not like you're towering over this. These are.
And is that that's pretty much the there's not other ones that are 200 feet high or something.
Not that you can see, although hazy in the distance to. I mean, you don't know that spell active, so you're not sure which one's north right now. But in one direction, you can see the hazy edge of pretty towering mountains.
I will run up the hill as well then. Up the... Okay. And let's have a look at the... also look up into the sky and see if we can see any flying mice.
Yeah, from up here, nothing that you can see. Not within eyesight at least, but you can definitely see those fucking mountains. And they are, I think, bigger than anything you have seen in memory. The way they would... there are stars out there. One of the things you would find with the lack of cloud cover, while the moons are bright and they do wash out some of the sky, you're able to see so much more than you've ever seen in the Paridar skies. And it hasn't dawned on you, Sally or Golag, before this maybe, but you're not seeing any falling stars in this place that had been manifesting for months in Paridar. The mountains themselves, you wouldn't necessarily make them out. The reason I mentioned the filled sky is that in the distance, the mountains would just be a towering presence of black. Parts of that star-filled sky is obscured. What were you going to ask for Golag?
Golag's not sure where he's going with this, but he's looking at the sky. He sees... So, Sally, you're with me, right? You're up on top now. And sees Sally looking at the sky. So, of course, Golag's up. And he thinks to himself of the dream and the painting where the sky is more like a roof. You know, that the monster was coming through in a broken, cracked dome almost.
So the sky didn't look like where it was breaking through.
Yeah.
Seemed as if that. It was just... the sky did not necessarily look like a artificial, thing. It looked like a normal sky, but the way that the thing was breaking through was as if there were fractures, the way you could break through a mirror or through a window or through a piece of pottery.
So whatever that looked like to me, I'm going to look at the sky in that way. Like, I'm just going to remember that that's what the dream was like and just contemplate. Golag doesn't know where he's going with it. He's recalling that. And he's wondering about a creature, wondering whether that was metaphorical in the dream or literal. He's just thinking about it. He's just
you feel it's quite cold out here, so like your waistcoat's sort of pulled in tight against this. But even more so than the ambient chill, when you turn your mind to that, there is a shiver that starts at the base of your spine and works it all the way up the tip of your skull. Or base of your skull, I guess.
At the thought of this creature.
Yeah, there's something that just, and whether that is this quiet, whether it's exhilaration, whether it is just the willies, I'm not sure you can put an emotion on it. Maybe it's because it's so complex that it's more than any one of those. Sally, I think you may even just notice the inadvertent sort of feeling. It is quite cold out here. You're quite comfortable, but
wind getting you to Golag?
I'm remembering that dream in Vesta King's painting of the sky, and I'm just wondering about it. That creature coming down from it, and it has given me a considering that it's given me a bit of a start.
Oh dear.
Is it windy up here, Kevin? Is it particularly windy?
Yeah. Like when you've got no break, the wind. You did not think there was any wind on the below. It's just a mild one, but like in as open and dry a place like this, where there's nothing to break it to, it would be noticeable when you're up on the surface or on an exposed point, and it cuts. You're not dressed for desert night weather, so it's going to be quite cold.
I will I'll use my message cantrip and say to Dr. Earthsprung, if I can, anything in particular, if you were up here, that you wish us to consider.
Look what I considered an employee that Golag is. He's aware of your obvious physical limitations.
I mean, there's nothing up here. I tell you, first I'll give you, there's nothing in any direction. It all looks the same. The wind has picked up a little bit. It's particularly chilly up here. There's no sign of anyone having been up here that we can tell. It doesn't seem. You can see the mountains a little better. There's no standing rocks higher than this that we can see from here.
I was going to say, I think all that has answered any questions I'd have. I was looking for any types of vegetation or anything, but yeah, if you can only see what you can see down here, pretty much, then yeah, there's nothing obvious for us to head towards or anything tomorrow. So,
indeed, there's mountains. I mean, that's about it, but that's too far away. I mean, it looks right, Kevin. It seems quite a ways away.
The mountains, would be difficult. They're hazy, and it's again like you're not seeing details of them. You're seeing that it's blacking out part of the sky. But yeah, it probably is some distance away.
I turn to Sally and I say, I'm giving Dr. Earthsprung an update and asking him for any thoughts. Anything you're noticing up here that you didn't notice down there that you wish me to pass along for his input?
Nope, nothing. I agree.
Yeah. And I say to Sally, I don't want to. It's a little bit of temptation to increase our light up here, but it'd be like a beacon as well. So I feel like the risk isn't worth it.
Yeah, people would see us for miles around.
Right. So I can put a pretty good light on this whole surface up here, I think, but it'd be too much.
One way thing, just as a reminder too, one way where PF2 differs from like almost any other version of a 3.5 inspired D&D is that Dark Vision doesn't have a range limitation in this game.
Oh,
So yeah, like your D&D, you're limited to like 60 or 120. That's a carryover from the AD&D stuff.
true.
Pathfinder had that as well, first edition.
Yep.
PF2 doesn't give any. Yeah, you just can see as far as you would normally be able to see. Only you can see in darkness as well.
Very good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of things to do up here, but yeah, that probably isn't. That's probably not needed.
Unless you were trying to draw attention, right? Like that, there's a possibility of just like, let's see what happens.
We can put it in the. We can put it on the. Put it on the list if we need to throw up a flare.
So we're late. Sorry, from this. We're into our last hour right now already. But why don't we take our mid-session break? Anna just came in to kind of poke at me, and that normally means she needs to go OUT. So why don't we take just a quick 5-minute break here, and then we'll come back and see what you guys choose to do next. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Anna, well. All right. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Ingolf. You guys are having a good weekend. Ingolf, hope you're having a good trip as well. All right. Do some cleanup here while we're waiting. Some box sets I do not need right now. Ooh, that is precarious. No? Back on the shelf. Come on, get in there. Get in there. All right. In. So she didn't have her lunch yet. That is what the emergency was. She led me back. I asked if she wanted to go UT, and then walked in the kitchen and looked up at her feed bag. So I mentioned that I had knocked on my ass to get my vaccine shots on Thursday. I spent all Friday in bed. That dog was with me every fucking second. So she can interrupt me as much as she wants. She was with me the whole time on Friday. All right. So, while Dr. Earthsprung, anything further you wish to inquire of this vast canyon?
The only thing I wanted to look at while the guys are up on top of this little rise or whatever, I just want to see if I could find any of these blossoms, these black blossoms.
Oh, okay.
Any of those?
Yeah,
on these rock faces, or we're not seeing any yet.
What would it be? Yes, should we? Is there investigation? I don't think so in this game, right? That's a 5e I'm thinking of.
I think so.
No, it would be.
No.
So do you have a lore that you think would be appropriate? That or perception or nature?
I mean, perception's my best, but what was the other thing I was thinking of? I've got this field guide that we found as well.
Yeah.
For finding, identifying plants.
Sure. You want to give us a... that'll grant you a point +2 to nature checks.
Oh, let's try nature then.
Yeah.
It's not any good at it, but I'll give it a go.
Satisfied with that, or you want to roll a 5? Oh no, you rolled a 10. You have +5.
Yeah, I've only got +5.
So that's 17 then.
I mean, it's only. He's not that bothered about it, to be fair, at this stage.
Yeah.
He's going to get more chances tomorrow and when we travel to the tribe, but it was just something for him to do while he was waiting, really.
Nothing you can see here.
No. Okay.
So, Goldegg and Sally, anything further you guys wish to do on the top of the canyon here?
No, I think sadly there's nothing dramatic out there to see. So
yeah, I don't think so. I think we'll probably climb back down, eh, Sally?
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
All right. So then, what do you guys? You're going to be able to complete your rest. So, Golag, you can swap out your cantrip if you choose to. Speak to your shadow.
Yeah.
And what would you guys like to do with your second day until waiting for Zaboob to return?
So he's returning during the day. That's our understanding, isn't it?
He should be like mid-afternoon. He should be here.
So we've only really got the morning if we want to do any exploring, because we don't want to be away when he comes back, obviously.
And it is sweltering. Oh, no, hold on. Sean, would you give us a percentile roll, please?
Indeed.
Weatherman?
Keeping him low.
Okay. It is... Whoosh. Got to convert this to Celsius for everyone other than Sean. I mean, I don't know if you guys know Fahrenheit whatsoever. I don't have any frame of reference with Fahrenheit. There you go. Fahrenheit, Celsius. All right. Holy fuck. Okay. Daytime temps, to give you a frame of reference. Fahrenheit, about 120. In Celsius, that's 48.8. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that is not.
Summertime in Greece weather. So it is very, very hot outside during the day. What do you guys wish to do with your day? The parasol will help, like jokes aside, being out of the direct rays of the veiled sun will definitely help you, Sally. What were you going to say, Sean?
When Zaboob left, did he leave during the day or the night?
He left during the day.
He did.
Yeah, I guess he's used to these conditions.
Mm-hmm. We can ask him about it, though. Like advantages, disadvantages.
Yeah, well, he wasn't also dressed as you guys are, right?
Yeah.
Anything we should do during the day?
Do you want to go back out? You want to go farther? Now that I have a bit of magical assistance. I mean, we got a view, though, from the top, and it doesn't seem like there's too much going on.
I'm not so sure the weather is to our liking.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
For just probably not much to find from our previous exploration. And
Zaboob is expected this afternoon, not tomorrow afternoon, right? It's this afternoon?
Yeah. So we've only got 3 or 4 hours, I guess, or maybe a little longer, but...
What you would note as a physician as well is you're going to need...
a lot of water.
Yeah. Basically, because of the heat, you're going to need 3 times the water that you would normally need.
Yeah, I think I'd suggest that we conserve the water we've got for the travel to the tribe when Zaboob arrives. And I think he's a bit concerned that Sally will suffer in the heat. And I'm not sure there's much advantage to it. I don't think we're going to learn much.
Yeah, because your tendency to it is actually going to be 4 times, I guess. I'll treat it as if it's 1 heat band higher. So you're going to need 4 times as much water as normal, Sally, to consume. Traveling in the heat, though cold, you have no issue with. And then the time, if you run out of water or don't have sufficient water, it's basically twice as fast as what the others would dehydrate for you. Not the drying, parching of skin. No, hold on. No, you got your apparatus. So your apparatus and the parasol, I think, will mean that you're going to basically dehydrate as fast as everybody else. So be thankful for the
inventions come to the fore again.
Wonders of modern technology. So then, anything else you guys wish to do while you're waiting?
But yeah, if you didn't see anything when we had our little explore last night that you thought was worth investigating, I think we should rest up and wait.
Okay.
Well, sounds good.
So then, it is anyone keeping watch?
I guess we take turns.
Yeah, it's a good idea, I think.
So what you would know, Golag, as well, is that, especially with no break, with the veiled sun, it seems as if, like, visually it is making it a little hazier and whatnot, but the heat is no different than as if it was being exposed. And what you'll find, and you know this, whether it's by orc lore, whether by survival or whatnot, you kind of remember glare is a fucking problem. So if you're staring out at the sands in here too, you're having to be careful to not let your eyes linger just on the brightest, like watching the sands themselves, because the reflection itself can cause blindness. Not permanent necessarily, but a temporary blindness. So you are taking steps to, if you talk to Dr. Ersprung, he may be able to fabricate something for you to assist with that. Guarding your eyes, making sure you're not just staring directly at the fucking sand.
Yeah, I'll talk with Dr. Ersprung about it.
Okay.
How do you find it, Dr. Ersprung? Do you find it difficult on your eyes?
Yeah, I think that is the nature of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun reflecting down on it. I think anyone would find it difficult if they stare too long.
These sands are not quite as, because of the kind of reddish quality to them, it's not as quite as bad. But if you have something that is a white surface or like salt plains or things like that, can cause glare blindness that'll last as long as you're in that circumstance and then for several hours afterwards.
Mm.
So you can mitigate against that. And it's not as bad here. You're not going to suffer it here, but it's a good reminder that in other, if there are other desert terrain that you're going to come across in this, as there were in your understanding of Paridar, it's something to potentially plan for.
Yeah, I think I'll spend some of the time today trying to come up with something that may help to shield our eyes in some way when we're traveling.
Sure.
If we're traveling during the day.
Yeah, look, I think, like there are, give us a crafting check. Let's see what,
Okay.
it's pretty good. Okay. So what you are able to fabricate. Here we go. Are you thinking of something to shade the eyes, or something that's actually going to, like goggles with slits, kind of like snow goggles?
I guess it depends on what I've got readily available.
You have been making use of your clothing, and in this heat, at least if you're traveling in the night, then you're going to want something warmer. But presumably, you're only a day's travel off from.
I think goggles would be preference, just because it'd also shield us if there was like strong winds or something like that. But if I can get my hands on things that I can make use of,
yeah, and I think if you're trying to think what you might, there may be enough detritus. This place was a former caravansary, so you may be able to find enough detritus around here, and you're quite inventive, right? Like that's quite.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could use anything from what we found in the caravans.
Oh yeah, right. Hell yeah. Yeah, so you're able to fabricate some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whether it's like goggles with pinholes in them or like holes, or whether it's slits or whatever, yeah, you're able to fabricate a set for everybody.
Okay.
Okay. So nice. One more step towards desert ready.
So they're goggles? Is there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Call them glare goggles, maybe.
All right. Did Zaboob use anything just for our?
He had some big hood over his head.
Okay.
And he did have a pretty light cloak. So it may be what prompted, beyond just Dr. Ersprung's conscientious nature and his inventiveness, Zaboob was wearing a pretty diaphanous cloak over himself too. Something light, but that gives actual cover when he was traveling. The skiff also, he's not using the wheels, he's using the skiff as he's transporting across the sand, because it quite easily supports that kind of travel. Anything else that Sally or Goldagbush should do while you're waiting?
I guess I will just continue eyeballing the iconography. I'll just contemplate that, as well as be alert. I mean, this could be maybe not, but this area, it's an exit. So anyone coming and going from the underground may be using this area. So a little concerned that there could be some traffic. So, keeping an eye open, trying not to be blind to anyone walking up on us from below.
Do you wish to give us a survival check take a look for tracks inside. This place, while the wind would obviously get in here to some degree, it's not going to be as easily disturbed as what the sand surface is outside. So this place has been used by more than just Zaboob.
Mm-hmm.
You can find evidence of at least four other bits of remnants of sort of campsites, probably within the last 6 months. Just from the bones and stuff that are left behind, not everything. The detritus left behind, not all of it would necessarily be orcish. Likelihood.
I will tell the others. Okay, I think that's about it for Golag.
Okay. Then it is late afternoon when you see Zaboob returning, and he is dragging the sled behind him. He's treading along, hood over him, and the cloak kind of pulled tight to protect him against the elements. He seems to be knowing precisely where he's going because he's able to find this quite easily. If he does spot you, you can keep yourself in the shadow and rest assured that while he has dark vision, the blindness, like the being outside, he's not going to be able to see inside until he gets there. If you call out to let him know that you're watching, then he'll say, "Go leg." He says, "I have news," and drags the sled in. He says, hello, my friends. I'm sorry I'm so late in the day. You have kept well then. How was your time here? Uneventful, I hope?
Good, yes. We took a little excursion outside to get our first time under the sun, under the veiled sun.
He looks down at your clothing and looks up at you. In the day.
We started in the day, but then we decided to reschedule for that night, last night, and walked about a bit, took to the top of one of the minor rock outcroppings, and it was useful. Of course, we didn't see anyone, didn't see any sign of anyone, but useful for our first view.
As people hunters, it seems natural that you would be inquisitive. I cannot say I'm surprised. I'm glad you learned the lesson. It is more comfortable to travel at night, but that is also when most things hunt. It is good that you did not stray far. These lands are mostly free of particularly dangerous predators, but travel at night is, while comfortable, it comes with its own risks. Less manageable than the heat and the sun. To that end, I bring gifts. And he goes over and kind of unlatches some of the shit from his wagon. And what he unloads for you, complete sets of clothing for all of you to travel comfortably in this terrain.
Nice.
Along with little bags for each of you as well to store your clothing and whatever other stuff that you wish.
Well, that is very kind of you.
Yes.
Just, the least, you are strangers in our land, and we cannot leave strangers to... You would not... It is a hard land, our life, but there is much beauty to be seen in it. It would be a shame to miss that for discomfort. So here, he's also brought you each a knife. So you each have a steel knife you can add to your sheet if you want. There's a sheath and a thing on the thing. You will find that quite useful for many uses. So, whatever sort of like, you know, desert fantasy accoutrement that you think that would look coolest for your character, you're going to have each of those. You also have the same kind of billowing cloak that he has offered. If he sees or you show him your goggles, he is gobsmacked. He's like, you made these with what you had available.
Yes, I was worried about the glare from the sun and the sand.
And you are right to think. We will not be passing any such particularly bright areas, but there are. The Hellforge Desert has many stretches where such precautions. The Veiled Sun, though dimmer than in the Unshadowed Age, it has a pernicious blinding effect. And you thought of this.
Well, I think it was Goleg that actually gave me the idea.
He smiles at you. You are orc.
Well, we'll see. I've much to learn in this land.
Perhaps it's more much to remember. He also brings you larger and more appropriate kind of... You guys have effectively been sharing kind of a water bladder that he had been using. He has brought you one for each of you. So each of you has a 6-gallon water container. So, and he says that this is for each of these, it will not last forever. It will need to be replaced, but there is a biomancy filter in here. You can fill this with any water. It will be good for until the full cycle of the moons pass. It will need to be replaced, but you can feel free to safely. He shows you where to fill from one end and drink from the other.
And we all got one?
Each of you got one, yeah.
Okay.
6-gallon water bladder. And for Sally, he brought a separate one with a modified kind of spigot. If you think of like what a travel shower might look like, he brought that for you.
Oh.
So, he says there, is there anything else that you guys would have requested from him, or... I don't think you made any demands of him other than to try and make a thing, so... And it says there is... oh, go ahead. Go like, what were you going to say?
I was just thinking. That was thinking sounds. I don't think we would have. I can't think of any... No, I think he came up with
I think Adam would just ask, how did the meeting with Urzul go?
That's when he kind of stops and his shoulders go down a bit, and he says, your timing is unfortunate. I spoke to Urzul, but I mentioned before that there are 2 tribes that trouble us, or at least are known pests in our... who are our neighbors. They are the Harrow Mob and the Scorchface Horde. The Harrow Mob they practice a kind of harvesting for biomancy and unethical biomancers. And they use the organs of sentients, of those among the speaking folk who fuel their trade. Their Scorchface Horde are simply slavers. There seems to be much happening And the master of the Dune Watchers is, I would not say friend, but associate, named Sorois. And I spoke to him as well. We do not know what has happened, but it seems that the Harrow Mob and the Scorchface Horde, they seem to be at war, and they seem to be potentially belligerent to us as well. 3 weeks ago, one of the things that is not uncommon, the lands near the Black Tower are filled with structures, ruins, complexes that date back to the Unshadowed Age. While Sorois strongly discourages it, there is a long-held custom among our people that we call dune chasing. Dune chasing is when a sandstorm passes. There are always old structures that are concealed by them and new ones revealed. And the dune chasers seek to find things concealed. It is a practice that has not been endorsed by any of the elders, but it is a long-held tradition among the youth. I was a dune chaser myself as a child. It is a place you are told not to go, and there are a few things more tantalizing than where the elders tell you not to go. Sorois has taken a stronger stance against it, which has only encouraged more to do so. And 3 weeks ago, a group of young dune chasers did not return. 2 weeks later, we found that a Skitterfolk caravan that was to attend was late, and we did not know why. Rescue parties, 2 were sent out in search of the youths. Neither returned. Another was sent in search of the Skitterfolk caravan. They are normally safe from travel, and neither the Harrow Mob nor the Scorchface Horde would be foolish enough to attack them, not only because it would ensure that they would never trade with them ever again, and that they would see the night rats come. The enforcers. They exist only in myth, of course, but everyone who deals with them know that if you betray or attack a Skitterfolk caravan, you will find the night rats come in the darkest of the night. I do not know why the Skitterfolk did not find, but Sorois has seen one party lost and has seen one attacked by the Scorchface Horde. Only a quarter of their number returned. And where they are now, we do not know why the Skitterfolk caravan is delayed. We do not know where our youths are, and we have 4 caravans, 4 search parties, 3 missing, and we do not know where they have gone, and another attacked by the Scorchface Horde, who would normally not do so. So the Reeve. The Reeve is willing to allow you to come, but you must understand how perilous things are. The Skitterfolk caravan was supposed to come. We were also expecting the Shadow Spire Sisters, a traveling collective of entertainers. They are now a week overdue. And while we are very self-sufficient, we are a trading community. We rely on the trade of biomancy. And we cannot, if we are to go to war with one or both of these tribes, it will be at great cost, perhaps too much to expend. Even now, there are those who say Saroas should have sent folk in search of the Dune Chasers earlier and did not. And so his confidence is undercut. But you are strangers, and you say you are people hunters. I feel there is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your unquestioned value to them. So like we spoke about the way in which your power, there are those who would hear it. But there is no question that those who bend shadow, they have a great power. And in desperate times, there are many who, there are already some who are speaking of going help, requesting help, if someone can be reached beyond our lands, beyond those of the Scorchface Horde and the Harrow Mob. But these are not your troubles. And you have been such great assistance to me. I have brought sufficient supplies for you as well. If you wish, I can show you a way, though challenging it may be, for you to leave our lands and seek. There are many communities around. You speak the languages. You can make new friends. And if you meet with a Skitterfolk caravan, assuming they are still traveling, you may find all you need at Shadowspire City. Our problems are not your problems. I will not burden you, particularly finding yourself so far from home. But if you wish to secure your good graces with the folk of the Black Tower, there is no question that they are in great need now.
Yeah, I agree. This seems like something that we would indeed do in Paridar. Could be asked to do.
I will answer any questions you have, and then I will give you your privacy to discuss this. I would not have you discuss this in front of one so invested in his community. Have you any questions?
So there's the original group of Doom Chasers.
It is more a name given to a youthful activity. The Doom Chasers go after a sandstorm, try to find new and unexplored ruins, plumb their depths before the next sandstorm comes, and brag with riches or results that are found.
What numbers? Is that a dozen or 5, would you say?
There were 7.
7. And then there was a rescue party. And did I hear you say that rescue party never returned? So they're missing as well?
There have been 4 rescue parties. 1 sent out in search of them. Sorry, 2 sent out in search of them, and then 2 others sent in search of the Skitterfolk caravan.
And none have returned.
The last return having been set upon by the Scorchface Horde.
That's a lot missing, it would seem.
It is a great loss. Although, if the Scorchface Horde are involved, they are slavers. They are not murderers. If there is value in our folk and in the hunters that were sent, there is great value. They may view them of greater benefit alive than dead, but it has been before my father's time when they were foolish enough to prey on us. You're the
Sounds like we've got things to do.
Indeed.
Then, what, if you have no questions for me, I will take water and rest. Please let me know if you have any questions. And when you have made a decision, I will respect whatever the decision is.
And how about this? Would it be best to check in with the leaders of the village about this, or just go to find them? What would you advise on this?
My offer stands to still provide the introduction.
Yeah.
In the long journey since, I have had much time to think. If you survived going through Sorky lands, and from what little I know of your exploits, I think you would be ideally placed. And if your body, if your mind is remembering Arthum Golag, then you may be best placed to unravel what has happened. We do not know whether there is a connection between the two. Why the tribes are at war with each other, why the Skitter folk caravan has not returned, and what has befallen our youth, whether that is connected or not. But I would provide the introduction and the proposal. I do not know whether sharing your nature as a Shadowbinder would benefit or not. I know that while cruelty and domination are naturally what is associated with them, inevitably in our land, it is also associated with power. Have you any other questions?
How far from where we are? How far are we from your village? Oh, 2 days.
1 day's travel.
1 day's travel.
1 day to get there, 1 day to get back.
And how far from the village is the area that the disappearances are considered to have happened?
We do not know.
Hmm.
Such is the nature of dune chasing that the landscape has changed. And you go and try and find what has been uncovered. We have a range within which we think they likely traveled. We have, I should say, Soroas has thoroughly questioned his friends and other youths who were involved with this. Some returned safely from their dune chasing. But the 6 that are missing, we do not know precisely where.
But you'd have an idea the route that the Skitter folk and the Shadow Spire sisters would have taken?
Indeed. And it was that route. The Shadow Spire sisters are about a week overdue now. But the route they would have taken, the route we would have followed to reach the land beyond where they would come into our lands, one of the search parties has not returned. One was set upon. Whether it is the Scorchface Horde that has set upon them all, we do not know. What I do know is, while Soroas was uncertain where the youths looked, the search parties covered lands that would adjoin on both the Harrow Mob and the Scorchface Horde.
Well, where they search, that's where we should start, surely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you need not time to consider.
I think time is of the essence, and is there time to visit even the tribe? Is that worth our time, or should we just?
That was a bit of my original question. Yeah, would it be expected? Is it best to meet with the village leader, or should we just go on the task at hand?
I am but a hunter, and while I have tried to show my gratitude to you, having the recognition, if what you wish is to be free to walk among the folk of the Black Tower and to have their assistance in finding your way home, presenting yourself as ones who could help before pursuing this would benefit you.
Yeah. It's probably for the best, since we're not from here. As well, your leader may have words for us as to whatever it may be in the task that is for his village, so some guidance of some kind.
And I, knowing that you were waiting here as well, I did not speak to... I spoke to Soroas in passing. I spoke to Urzul, but... And he has agreed to meet with you, should you wish to at least stay with the folk with the Black Tower. But there are others I could provide introductions to who may assist, and knowing you have a Skitterfolk among you may likewise be of value. We are dependent on their trade and would not see them abandon our community for actions of our neighbors. I do not think that they would do so. Legends we hear, the Skitterfolk would chasten any bandits foolish enough to prey upon their caravans, whether by strangling them with trade or visiting them in the night.
Well, perhaps we'll return with you then, as planned, and meet with your leader, and hopefully on an expedited basis. we don't have to. The meeting does not have to be long, but to make sure he is aware of us and our intention and any guidance he can offer, and then we'll be on our way to find your missing folk.
There's a smile that goes across his face, and he says, "It's been hours of travel. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. This has weighed upon me heavier than any burden I could carry. I'm certain that they will be grateful, and I'm certain that you will be as great assistance as you can. I thank you." And like there's a, you can see he's been waiting to ask you guys about this, no doubt, for fucking hours, if not like the first time he heard about this. So the physical relief you can see from his body relaxing as he sits down. And he says, while there is urgency, it is not urgency in the face of foolishness. While these lands will be relatively safe in the evenings, it would not be wise to travel in the dark closer to the lands of the Black Tower. There are creatures that have been shaped by the legacy of the Unshadowed Age that make it perilous. We'll rest and we'll set out tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Indeed.
And he reaches over and he says, but one final thing, since we need not worry about the perils of the night. And he brings out another jug of what seems to be the same hooch that he gave you on his traveling thing, but a bigger one. As you have no doubt seen, the nights are cold here. Shall we stay warm? Our company. And
indeed.
So, sitting down, you guys are going to make a more. He seems to have brought more impressive food, and sure enough, if you check the thing, the skiff there, it looks like he's brought like 2 weeks worth of rations for each of you for 4 people. So he did bring you enough to carry on your own, as well as like 2, basically like kludged together survival kits. So you would have had everything you needed to carry on should you decided to go on your own merry way. But he has also brought along some prepared food, some sweet treats, and then some booze for you guys to enjoy, at least to provide a proper welcome to the land of Arthun. Anything you guys wish to close on before we wrap up our session?
Yeah, I'll have some kind of toast with the pour glasses of expected fortuitous results and found villagers.
Is this something you're going to offer in Orcish?
Yeah, probably Orcish. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Zaboob looks up at you. Did the Minotaurs you met, did they teach you that?
Well, if you're asking what I learned here, once again, do I recall? Do I have any memory of how good is my memory before I got my powers?
I think it's a toast that you know from your father's kind of assistant, your uncle, your unofficial uncle.
My Tankin Tusk.
Yeah. Whose name I always fucking forget.
I know. I'm
Skell something. What is it?
Skulldug.
Oh yeah, Skulldug.
It's a toast of Skulldug, and you used to give. He says, "That's."
Is that a Minotaur saying?
It is not. It's an Orcish saying, and well known among folk across Arthun. And he repeats it to you, putting the drink up, and it's probably one of those like short pithy things that's catchy enough that if the two of you want to repeat it back in like Pigeon Orcish, you could do so.
Yeah.
So with a toast, we will celebrate you guys properly being welcomed to our Thum, and I think the end of our first chapter of the Veiled Sun sequence. So you guys have completed surviving the Veiled Sun. We'll next be going on to our next chapter, Hunt the Veiled Sun. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for chapter 6 of the Survive the Veiled Sun mystery. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to our Spires of Paridar campaign, and as well as channels dedicated to mostly other games and campaigns we run on the channel. There's a terrific, we got Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat. There's a ton of helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly people over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, like, for instance, the Sandstorm product for D&D 3.5. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MUSER10. All caps, all one word. It's in the description down below. It'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more. I believe that their winter sale is over with at the time of recording, so that should be active again, and it'll be good until the end of 2025. If you're listening to this after 2025, then just come back to one of our more recent videos and check what the current discount code is down below. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart illuminators. So, Sean, James, and Darren, thank you so much for playing today, guys. Congratulations on making your way to the surface of our Thum, and for so readily taking on the troubles of this community you have not yet to meet. It's a shame that they're all such sons of bitches, and that's who you're choosing to help out. So, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for, I believe, the final session of this campaign for 2025. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our stalwart illuminators are finding as they're making their way under this strange new sun. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.